Work is outstanding. We all know Bill and Kathleen's story. Horrible experience, replaced their own windows, started their own company. 20 years later, they continue to beautify homes with personal care, total attention. CSLB number 778326. Trust the window company that I trust, my family trusts. American Vision Windows. You'll see the difference. Call American Vision Windows today. Get that free estimate, 888-226-9908. That's 888-226-9908. Or check them out on AmericanVisionWindows.com.
The ultimate whodunit live on stage. Clue. Tickets at LaMaranaTheater.com.
KFI AM 640.
iHeart radio station.
24-hour news. More stimulating talk.
Johnny Kent Show, John Cobell, Ken Champo. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app.
Well, probably nobody knows the Border Patrol mess better than the head of the Border Patrol Union, Brandon Judd, will join us coming up after the news at 5 o'clock from Texas, Del Rio, Texas, where you have as many as 12 to 14,000 migrants under a bridge who wanted to get into the United States because Biden gave the green light. And the word is getting around the world. We'll talk to Brandon Judd at 5:05 on the show. Well, time for a little fun audio with boobs. We'll start with the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau.
This is good.
It looks like, what was he doing? Speaking about the rights of kids not having to go through conversion therapy.
Yeah, he just won re-election up there. And he is ultra woke. He's a real soy boy. And
But I see they reprinted the pictures of him in blackface from his college days.
yeah, the New York Post did that.
That wasn't very woke.
Just, well, it's convenient to be woke now. And so he it's not, you can't even just say, gay and lesbian, LGBT, right? This dope tries to list, I think there's 22 different alleged genders now.
Genders or
Sexualities,
orientations,
but I don't know what to call them. And many of them I don't understand. But there's 22, and he tries to go through a long list of letters. I don't know if he went through all 22, but it doesn't really matter because he, after a couple he couldn't make it.
I guess the context here is that there are some parents that want to still send their kids to some types of conversion therapy,
Right.
Get them to become just heterosexual.
Right. So, that's still around. There's still people who try to do gay to straight therapy,
Right.
which is nonsense. But
Or
here,
do they do therapy for this entire list of letters?
that'd be
You only picked out one letter. You just said the G. So.
right. That's but because I can't. Who can remember 22?
I didn't know there were 22.
No, there are.
I'm looking at this message on Twitter. LGBTQQIP2SAA and then a plus sign, which means there's even more.
There's more than that. Yeah. Plus means more.
Oh. All right, well, let's listen to Trudeau.
I will never apologize for standing up for LGBTQ2 plus kids' rights to not have to undergo conversion therapy.
They had to be helped. So he just used the plus sign. Why don't you just do that? LGBTQ plus.
That's for LGBTQ2 plus kids' rights.
Sounds very frustrating. It's tough to be woke and not have the right ammunition.
See, here are some of the other variations. Demisexual. Someone who does not, this is at New York Times, someone who does not experience sexual attraction unless they formed a strong emotional, but not necessarily romantic connection. A graysexual.
Yeah. Graysexual?
Someone who, that's Gray Davis's half-brother. Someone who occasionally experiences sexual attraction, but usually does not. Occasionally experiences. It covers kind of a gray space between asexuality and sexual identity. Gender nonconforming. one who expresses gender outside traditional norms associated with masculinity or femininity.
No, that one I've heard, yeah.
Not all gender nonconforming people are transgender, and some transgender people express gender in conventionally masculine or feminine ways. Then you have non-binary, person who identifies as neither male or female. Gender queer, a term used to describe someone whose gender identity is outside the strict male-female binary. Then you have gender fluid, gender neutral. Then you have MAAB, FAAB, UAAB. That means male assigned at birth, female assigned at birth, or unassigned at birth. And then you have intersex.
Pansexual is another.
Pansexual is another one. So,
Some celebrities are coming forward and saying that they are some of those terms.
yes. So,
All right.
that's a long list of letters.
Well, everybody has the right to identify themselves as they see themselves, and they just have to keep coming up with terms.
But the little woke boy has got to, probably should limit it to maybe 4.
Now, on the subject of sex, here's the other buffoon, Bill Gates. Bill Gates is still trying to explain his relationship with the dead Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, of course, allegedly killed himself in a jail cell after being in prison for solicitation and prostitution of minors. And he was actually convicted of that in a plea deal, but then he was arrested again on fresh charges, and then he died in a prison cell a couple of years back. Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein did hang out together at one time. This audio is from PBS, an interview that Gates did with Judy Woodruff.
It was reported at that time that you had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who, when you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from minors. What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
I had dinners with him. I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, would give to Global Health, which is a interest I have. Not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction. Those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off. That goes back a long time ago now. So there's nothing new on that.
It was reported that you continued to meet with him over several years, and that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
Well, I've said I regretted having those dinners, and there's absolutely nothing new on that.
Nothing new.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead, so, in general, you always have to be careful, and, I'm very proud of what we've done in philanthropy, very proud of the work of the foundation. That's why I get up every day and focus.
Wow. The question's really simple. When you found out about his conviction for soliciting prostitution from minors, what did you do with that?
Well, he's dead.
Yeah. Did you immediately cut him off, or did you continue to meet with him in the hopes of raising money?
What the hell was that? Well, he's dead?
Yeah, she asked what lessons could be learned.
The question was not, is Jeffrey Epstein alive? No, well, he's dead. That wasn't the question. The question is, why'd you keep meeting with him after you knew he was bedding down teenage girls?
He's a pedophile, right.
He's a pedophile. So,
I don't know. I think he was trying to get out of him, but he was dancing.
Here's a question, and you can answer this privately at home.
Okay.
If we find out one day that Bill Gates was involved with Jeffrey Epstein's girl,
Really?
would that shock you? Nobody has to answer out loud.
Okay. Nothing shocks me anymore would be my answer.
Surprised you? Considering in all the meetings he had after he knew?
You always have to be careful.
Any evasiveness there?
He was caught off guard as to how to answer
Well,
that question.
all right, so I'm saying, why is he being evasive? He could say, look, I kept meeting him because I thought I was going to get $1 billion for my charity. And
That's where I thought that was going to go.
But he didn't say that. That would have been, I don't know why his public, because you can tell he was,
And then you say that was a mistake, but I really thought he was going to help me raise money.
right, and this would have helped all the African children dying of malaria and polio. Right, and it's like, yeah, all right, I guess I see that, right? There's people dying all over the planet. I'm trying to help. This guy's claimed he can get me $1 billion. Okay, so I'll meet with him. I'm not going to any of his parties. I'm not going to run around naked. I'm not going after 14-year-olds. I'm going to take the $1 billion that he's bundling and then look at all the millions of kids who will benefit from it. But instead, it's like,
Well, he's dead.
Well, he's dead. So in light of that, would you really be surprised if later on we find out maybe there's some funny business going on? I don't know. I wasn't there.
You always have to be careful.
All right, we got more coming up.
Johnny Ted, KFI, Deborah Marquez.
A brush fire in Chatsworth has burned about 3 acres. It is putting up a lot of smoke, but LA City Fire says no buildings are in danger. Officials say the fire is burning to the east uphill near Chatsworth Park South. Evacuation orders have been lifted for a brush fire in San Bernardino County that was threatening about 100 homes. The county fire department says the fire has burned between 50 and 100 acres, but forward progress has been stopped. President Biden says the U.S. is buying another 500 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine to donate to low- and middle-income countries. We're going to go to the 405, and we will check in with the KFI in the Sky next.
Sweet James accident attorneys, that's who we'd go to. We got hurt in an accident.
Mm-hmm.
But, my head's hanging by a thread. I'm calling Sweet James. Here's a story about one of their clients.
If your head's hanging by a thread, how do you really hold the phone, or how do you...
Well, one hand on the head, one hand on the phone.
For this client, it was a day like any other, and it wasn't. He and his girlfriend going out to get something to eat. On their way, they were suddenly hit by a car traveling at a high speed. It caused him to lose control and hit a wall.
His injuries were severe, and the driver who hit him was under the influence. Sweet James accident attorneys took on the case, and they recovered $2.7 million.
The insurance companies, man, they promise to be by your side in these situations, but they rarely are. The litigation team took the insurance company to trial and won. If you're ever hurt in an accident, you gotta call Sweet James.
They can't guarantee the outcome of any case, but you'll have a winning and caring law firm on your side.
Even if your head is hanging by a thread.
That's right.
Call for a free consultation at 800-550-200. That's 800-550-200, sweetjames.com.
Tired of the BS? We spent $500,000 at risk. Results $8 million for leg injured motorcyclists.
Results may vary, no guarantee.
Southland Weather from KFI. Sunny tomorrow, highs mid-80s to mid-90s. This report is brought to you by Allstate. It is slow on the 405 in West LA.
We're looking at the southbound side, and delays are backing up, leaving Santa Monica Boulevard. It's a long, slow drive ahead, just a little opening around Century Boulevard in Inglewood, but you remain on the brakes ahead into Long Beach, better past Bellflower Boulevard. Out to Bell with Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky, sponsored by Injury Attorney, superwomansuperlawyer.com.
Still working a problem here on the 710 South, just a little past Boyd. Looks like that problem is still occurring out of the number 2 lane. The drive is number 2, I'll tell you, back through the 60, just coming out of East LA. Now the southbound side of the 5, that's going to be a very tough one now from East LA interchange to a problem. Looks like it's clearing around Lakewood Rosemead there. Also looks like another problem clearing on the 91 westbound approaching Bellflower Cerritos. Looks like right around Pioneer they're clearing a problem out of lane. That's extra tied up from Knott and through Orange County on the 405. On the brakes there from the 73 hookup up through Brookridge. Injured in an accident? Visit superwomansuperlawyers.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky.
The drive's still slow moving in Anaheim 91 eastbound, leaving the 57 freeway all the way to Green River. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Angel Martinez.
This report is sponsored by 1-800-NO-CUFFS Criminal Defense. I'm attorney Darren Kavanoki from 1-800-NO-CUFFS. Can you do the alphabet backwards? Z, Y, X, W, V. Yeah, try doing that by the side of the road. So if you get pulled over, don't wing it. Call us at 1-800-NO-CUFFS.
Have you been denied a home loan or refinance because you're self-employed, earn 1099 income, or even a real estate investor? You're missing out. Most lenders make approval seem impossible, especially if you're self-employed. Stop watching everyone take advantage of the lowest mortgage rates in history while you're stuck on the sidelines. Accelerate Capital, the premier lender designed for the self-employed. Our approval process is based on common sense, using bank statements, 1099 income, profit loss statements, rental income, or even stated income to qualify at the lowest rates available. Fast. Conventional lenders cannot do this. When others say no, we say yes. Call 800-811-9702. 800-811-9702. Or visit acceleratecapital.com.
EXCELE, acceleratecapital.com.
Equal housing lender. Call for details. NMLS ID number 1165716. Not all will qualify. California DFCI license number 41DDO45150. Additional restrictions may apply. Loans made or arranged pursuant to the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act.
Summer ends soon, so hurry in for the final days of the Honda Summer Sales Event at the Norton Reeves Honda Superstore. New Hondas are arriving daily and adding to our super selection, which means you can secure a super price when you put your name on your favorite model. Every new Norton Reeves Honda is backed by our exclusive price protection guarantee, which states if you can find the same new Honda for less within 5 days, Norton Reeves will pay you the difference or buy your vehicle back. Plus, return your Honda lease to any of our 5 lease return super centers and receive a super upgrade experience. Put your name on a super new Honda before the Honda Summer Sales Event ends. Visit our super award-winning Norton Reeves Honda Superstore location in Huntington Beach, West Covina, the Irvine Auto Center, and the #1 Honda store in the world in the Cerritos Auto Square. Plus, we're now open in Vista. Shop online at nortonreeves.com. That's for Global Honda New Vehicle Sales 2020.
Your house, moving, downsizing, you have financial issues, maybe you've inherited, so you list it with a broker, and that means hours of cleaning and painting and repairing and paying big fees. So let me give you another way of doing it. You get a fair price without any of that. Buyer never walks through your house, there's never an appraisal, no commissions, and you can get paid in cash within 10 days or less if you need it. That's directbuyers.com. That's the company that Janet and Matt, brother and sister, own, and I love the way they do business. They'll never lowball you. They're just honest folks. And let me tell you, a lot of schmucks in this industry, and that's not what they are. They'll give you an honest, no-obligation offer and even offer a $15,000 cash advance before closing. Go to directbuyers.com. That's directbuyers.com. Call 844-242-SELL, 844-242-SELL, directbuyers.com.
Hi, it's Erin Andrews here for my friends at Cuddly. Each year, 6.5 million animals enter rescue centers looking for a second chance at life. The community on Cuddly helps these underdogs win. Cuddly champions animal rescues and makes it easy for you to donate essential items like food, toys, medication, and even surgery to the animal of your choice. Log on to Cuddly.com and learn how you can save a furry friend today.
Save a furry friend in need with Cuddly.
Wake-up call.
It's the bullet points that you need of the day. What is your weather? What is your traffic? What is the biggest news headline? What's happening around the world? LA County, San Bernardino County, Orange County. I mean, we try and hit it all on Wake Up Call.
Mornings at 5 on KFI.
Johnny Ken Show, John Cobell and Ken Shampo, KFI, AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, here our conversation with Brandon Judd. He's the head of the National Border Patrol Council. That's the union for Border Patrol agents. He is in Texas. He was in Del Rio, where you have over 12,000 migrants under that bridge living in squalid conditions. And he's also got an update on just how many migrants have been released into the United States because the Biden administration went back to what they call the catch and release policy. And as a bonus, find out what COVID precautions have been taken concerning these hundreds of thousands of people released.
That's a good one.
With all the frenzy over COVID precautions in this country, not much there.
You think that has anything to do with the increases in Texas and Florida?
You know, there was a couple politicians in Texas who complained that that was why their case rates were rising because migrants are being released with COVID.
If you've let in 1 million illegal aliens and nobody was tested, nobody was vaccinated, how could that not cause a spread of COVID? That's a good jump start.
You're certainly depositing the probable cause right into the population. Speaking of COVID, and I think we found out yesterday from our earthquake lady that there was an earthquake in Melbourne, Australia. Didn't we find that out?
Yes, we did.
There was also well, I guess it's today, Australian police had to fire rubber bullets to clear a demonstration in Melbourne. These are rallies by anti-vaxxers. Apparently, if you look at the chart, they're having their big run-up in COVID here in September in the nation of Australia. I mean, they don't have the population we do, but everything's relative, and they're seeing a rise in case numbers, so they have put out new restrictions, including mandatory vaccinations for construction workers. And that's a lot of who turned out today to protest. 400 people rallied to demand an end. And they did it at something called the Shrine of Remembrance, which was built to honor the state's men and women who served in the First World War. And they were kind of telling the police, you know, don't do anything to us because we're here also in remembrance of our soldiers that served our nation. After an hour-long standoff where police was offered to let the protesters leave, they opened fire with the rubber bullets because they started getting pelted with bottles from the crowd. Rubber bullets arresting over 200 people.
Rubber bullets work.
Do they? They sting.
Oh yeah, they leave a huge welt.
They can give you a welt,
big bruise.
I've seen people show their injuries.
Yeah.
People were throwing golf ball batteries at the cops. Oh boy. So 2 officers suffered head injuries. Oh, and by the way, that happened at the border too. A couple of Border Patrol agents got pummeled by some of the migrants, but that doesn't get covered much.
No, of course not.
No.
The fake whip story gets covered, but not the actual injuries to the Border Patrol agents.
Yeah, they've gotten into a few scuffles, but so if you think, I mean, you wonder if something like this is going to start to happen more in this country, as the anti-vax crowd just takes to the street over these continuing mandates.
Well, they're going to get shut out. I mean, the various states, you get squeezed out of bars and restaurants, and you get squeezed out of stores. You're not going to be able to work. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. We've got so many cops and firefighters here in L.A. who are threatening to quit if they're forced to get vaccinated. Got so many medical workers threatening to quit. People really going to do it?
For that in October, isn't it supposedly, I think, for them to get
vaccinated? I think so, yeah.
Because I saw that the numbers are up. A few more people came over to the vaccine side.
Well, because they're not...
They crossed over.
Yeah, they're not going to have any recourse. The 100 years worth of court cases have backed up the right of local state government or private employers to force vaccines. The federal government constitutionally doesn't have that power, so Biden's stuff may get tied up. But if your state, your county, the business you work for, they mandate it, and if they really mean it, they really mean they're going to fire you, then you got to get the vaccine, or you're going to have to pack up.
Australia apparently also did a 2-week shutdown of the entire construction industry. I guess they must have determined, who knows anymore, that there was a lot of spread.
Yeah, remember that workers? That was here. I think one of the highest percentages early on.
Early on, there was a study that said that was the work classification that had the most spread, was construction workers. And I mention that only because some of that's outdoor. I just saw everybody maskless when I saw people working in construction. Coming to work in the morning together in trucks and cars. And
the more macho the industry, construction workers, firefighters, police officers.
Well, we'll take our chances. What's your problem?
They're not going to wear those silly little blue nurses' masks.
All right,
feminize it.
When we come back, our guest will be Brandon Judd, the National Border Patrol Council. That's the union for Border Patrol agents. We've talked to him in the past, but nothing like this. The migrants under the bridge in Texas. He gives us a first-hand account from Texas and Del Rio. Coming up next.
Johnny Kent Show, Deborah Marquez News, KFI AM 640.
An independent voice in a world full of retweets.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
FDA gives the thumbs up. I'm Deborah Mark, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The Food and Drug Administration has approved giving Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine booster shots to senior citizens and others at high risk from the virus. A CDC advisory panel is still considering who should get a third dose of the vaccine and when. Pfizer says immunity against COVID starts to wane about 6 months after the initial shot, so a booster would help. Dr. Natalie Thornburg with the CDC says there are different ways to measure immunity.
There's a degree of protection from different outcomes based on a person's level of immunity. It's not a binary thing.
The CDC's scientific advisors will vote on who qualifies as high risk. President Biden says the U.S. will buy another 500 million doses of Pfizer's COVID vaccine to share with the world. That makes a total of 1 billion doses his administration has bought since June. Biden says they will be given to low and middle income countries.
Put another way, for every one shot we've administered to date in America, we have now committed to do 3 shots to the rest of the world.
Biden has also set a goal of vaccinating 70% of the world's population within the next year. A survey by UCLA has found that more than 1 in 5 people in California who have put off getting medical care last year say COVID-19 was the main reason. Researchers say less than half of those missed visits have been made up. They found that preventative care visits also dropped last year. Costco says people are buying up all of the toilet paper again. The company has issued a warning for customers saying there may be delays in processing some online orders for toilet paper because of a recent increase in demand. Costco says it has been put buying limits in place for some stores to keep people from stockpiling certain products. Black leaders in the LA area, including those from the NAACP, are calling on Governor Newsom to sign a police reform bill.
Sign the bill and sign the bill now.
Senate Bill 2 would create a process to strip police officers of certifications if they are convicted of serious crimes or fired from misconduct. Los Angeles Urban Policy Roundtable President Earl Ofari Hutchinson is among those calling on the governor to sign the bill.
We think it sends a bad message. When you pick up abusive cops in one department and they go to another department, it sends a terrible message.
The governor has until October 10th to make his decision. In L.A., Blake Trolley, KFI News.
Negotiations between Democrats and Republicans in Congress on police reforms have failed. New Jersey Democratic Senator Cory Booker says every possible pathway to a deal has been exhausted. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says the collapse of negotiations is disappointing, but the effort is not done.
We'll see through consultations what the best steps are moving forward, and that includes leaving the door open to executive actions.
The key sticking points were overqualified immunity, which protects officers from civil liability, and how officers should be prosecuted when they do something wrong. LA County Sheriff Villanueva says a report about so-called deputy gangs is filled with inaccuracies.
The sheriff says researchers from the RAND Corporation had no interest in the truth.
I also found out in their methodology that they had the Civilian Oversight Commission, appointed by the Board of Supervisors, provide people who participated in the focus groups. That's kind of comical in a sense because it taints the entire product.
Villanueva says most all the recommendations in the report have been underway since he took office in 2018. The sheriff says the board spent $1 million on the report, along with $1.5 million in tax incentives to the RAND Corporation. At the Hall of Justice, Steve Gregory, KFI News.
We're going to check in with Angel, see how those freeways are looking right now.
So we're checking out the drive as you travel out of Santa Monica. 10 eastbound, getting away from just about Cloverfield. Pretty dense and slow ahead as you make your way towards La Cienega in Mid-City, with continued slowing all the way to the 5 in Boyle Heights. We've got Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky, sponsored by injury attorney, superwomansuperlawyer.com. He's checking out Orange.
Yeah, seeing a lot of red here on the 55. 55 northbound, just approaching the 91 from Lincoln Knoll Ranch. Looks like they've cleared a little problem there to the right shoulder. Extra tight down through Chapman Avenue. In fact, at that point, it catches the normal slowing really right out of Costa Mesa. Looks like way back to the 405. 405 northbound, loading up from Bristol, on and off right there up to Beach Boulevard into our lovely construction zone there. And if you're heading north on the 57, looks like a little problem before the 91, turning to the right shoulder. Very heavy into the Orange Crush, and then up ahead, more slowing in L.A. County from Diamond Bar Boulevard up to the merge with the 60 and Diamond Bar. Injured in an accident, visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Mike O'Brien, KFI in the Sky.
Santa Clarita, 14 northbound, loading up, leaving that side freeway, looking a lot better past Golden Valley Road. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Angel Martinez.
May see some showers. We'll tell you when next.
With record low interest rates, is it still wise to pay off your home, or has it become unwise? Wall Street says money never sleeps. Well, your home equity is in a coma. It's earning zero. Record low interest rates have created enormous opportunity for homeowners to borrow equity and move into alternative investments. It may have made a lot of sense when interest rates are 6 or 8% to make it your highest priority to pay your home off. But with these record low rates, it's no longer wise. It's a timeless understanding that buying low and selling high is the way to gain wealth. How about borrowing low and investing in higher returns? Call HMS Capital today. With their razor-sharp interest rates, they're confident they're going to earn your business. No appraisal fee, no application fee. So phone them up right away. 833-255-5698. 833-255-5698. That's 833-255-5698. Or visit hmscapital.com.
HMS Capital Funding is a DBA of Golden Empire, payment on affiliate number 2427. HMS Capital is licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. License number 4120360. Equal housing lender.
The Delta variant is making COVID-19 spread faster and more easily. Variants can be more contagious, aggressive, and deadly. But we know vaccines work. Vaccinated Californians have greater protection against serious illness, hospitalization, and death. We can help stop the spread and end this pandemic. Get vaccinated and wear a mask when it can protect you and others. Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
The KFI Financial Report brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow closed up 338, S&P 500 up 41, NASDAQ up 150, and the average price of a gallon of regular gas in California is $4.38.
With a range of commercial fire and security solutions, Bay Alarm can protect it all with just one call.
Southland Weather from KFI. Sunny tomorrow and cooler. Low to mid-70s at the beaches. Low to mid-80s for Metro LA. Mid-80s to mid-90s in the valleys. Upper 80s for Inland OC. Low to mid-90s in the IE. And then we do have a slight chance of showers Friday. Right now, 78 in Seal Beach. It's 82 in Costa Mesa. 96 in North Hollywood. And 71 in Santa Monica. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Deborah Mark.
Johnny Pitt Show, John Cobell, Ken Champeau, KFI, AM 640. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Yeah, bring it on. We've got a special guest coming on right now, and of course, many Americans are become aware of the situation at the border, beginning with the Biden presidency, but even more so in the last couple of weeks, with reports of up to 12,000 people under a bridge in a place called Del Rio, Texas, in the Texas-Mexico border, many of them Haitians. We have an opportunity now to talk to Brandon Judd. He's the president of the National Border Patrol Council, which represents all rank-and-file Border Patrol agents nationwide.
This is their labor union. Brandon, how are you?
It's great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
You're driving through Texas? Are you driving from the border, from the Del Rio Bridge?
Yeah, I'm leaving Del Rio. I've got to go back. I've got mandatory training that I've got to get done by the end of this week, so I'm actually headed back to Arizona right now.
It looks so nuts there. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No. This is the largest illegal immigration event that we've ever seen. When you're under that bridge, I was talking with a reporter that has done war correspondence before, and she said that she's never even seen anything like this, overseas. And this is in the United States. This is on our soil that we have an event that looks like an actual refugee camp from a war-torn country. It's crazy that this administration has allowed it to get to this level.
How could that many people show up so fast? Is there somebody financing this? Is there another entity involved? It just seems incomprehensible that many people can show up at once.
No, the cartels are extremely good at what they do. They generate billions of dollars in profit every single year. And with those billions of dollars, they have created the infrastructure that is necessary to get these people to the border like what they did. We've just never seen them cross in one location in these numbers. They're crossing across the entire country. In California, in your state right now, we have more people crossing the border illegally than we have in years. And so, yeah, these cartels are extremely proficient. They know what they're doing. They know how to transport people, and they do it extremely well at this time.
Well, you're also mentioning catch and release as a problem. Explain that.
So when we take somebody into custody and we release them with what's called a notice to appear, that's a promise that they'll appear before an immigration judge sometime down the road. Normally it's 2 to 3 years down the road. If they do appear, which the vast majority of them never do, 2011 Toyota FJ Cruiser. They'll be released on their own recovery.
Toyota's off-road capable 2011 FJ Cruiser allows drivers the ability to experience thrilling adventures.
For them, but it won't be executed because the Biden administration has
thanks to the refined six-cylinder engine,
on who they're going to
providing
go
a
after.
spirited
So
yet
it's just a
composed
complete
ride
joke. Our
and
immigration
drive.
system is a complete joke. It's broken, and because it's broken,
Once
so many
inside, the
people
attention
cross
to
the border
safety and
illegally because
security
they
is
know they're
obvious.
going to be rewarded and
Toyota
be released
infused the
after they
interior
violate
with
our laws.
top-shelf
How many do you
amenities,
think have
such
come
as
over?
one-touch
since
window
Biden took over?
functionality, a
Well,
tachometer,
there's been
skid
Biden,
plates, available
Biden has
Bilstein shock